5-year-old boy died early last year in Isle of Wight County, the victim of severe beatings by his mother, Jay Hadley, and her boyfriend. At her sentencing late last month, the judge in the case told her, quote, "You killed your child just as sure as if you pulled a trigger, and you could have taken him out of an abusive situation." Investigative reporter Chris Horne reveals how devious Hadley was and how it led to her son's death. Chris?
Tom, if this woman had any maternal instinct, it was overwhelmed by much darker forces. Never before have we been able to show you such a comprehensive look inside an investigation. We were able to get these videos you're about to see because the case is now closed. One video shows Hadley exploiting her son to cover her tracks and those of her boyfriend. Hadley was more interested in protecting that relationship than the welfare of her own defenseless son. Another video shows them lying to investigators. And I need to make you aware right now that the story may be difficult to watch for some viewers. Jay Hadley made a video with her 5-year-old son, Levi, trying to show the boy's father that he wasn't being harmed by Hadley and her live-in boyfriend, Justin Cox.
Does he try to make you better?
Yes.
How does he try to make you better?
Trying to test me out.
10 for about 4 minutes out.
Yes, sir.
Hey, y'all need any help with anything?
We're in cardiac arrest.
All right. Y'all need a driver to the hospital?
We need something.
All right, which hospital y'all want to go to?
Well, we're going to initially go to Oversea, but I don't know if they're going to take him, so find out what happened first, please.
I'm his mother.
All right, what happened with the child?
He fell out of the archery stand in the backyard.
She says Levi fell from the top about 15 feet.
I was in the shower, forgive me. I was in the shower, but there was another adult here.
When you found him, was he inside? Did he come inside? When you found him?
He had just came inside, yes.
Okay. And what happened when he come inside?
He fell out. He fell down and hit the back of his head on the wall.
Okay. And that's when he started having the seizure?
That's when, yes, absolutely.
To this point, Hadley has not given any indication that the fall from the tree supposedly happened several days before.
I got an IV. Yes, give me the bag.
Nightingale's calling back with the ETA. They're going to land at the fire department.
Okay.
Less than 20 minutes after deputies arrived, they already have doubts.
I don't think he fell from this tree stand. There's no footsteps.
They begin talking with Hadley's boyfriend, Justin Cox. Unlike Hadley, he tells them Levi had fallen from about halfway up the ladder, and that it happened several days before. Deputies say snow has been on the ground for the past 4 days.
Which tree stand? Because there's no footsteps going to that one.
It was before it started snowing hard.
Oh.
And he's been fine.
And then Cox is unsure about which day Levi had fallen.
I don't know, something just don't sit right.
Something about their behavior don't hit me right.
That's only about 4.5
Right.
drop.
No medical history.
4 days. And he hasn't shown any signs of a head
They said
injury
he's
till
been
now.
completely
That's
fine until
So
today.
he said it won't snow hard yet, but Thursday there was snow on the ground.
Yeah.
So that's where his story is messing up. There won't even indentation when it's not like adult footprints or anything.
After heroic attempts to save Levi, medics take him to the helicopter, but his mother asks very few questions.
Here's the other thing that gets me. They're gone. They've already left with the child. She has yet to ask anything about where the child's going. If I can go with them, she's nothing.
Inside the home on Yellowhammer Road, called the Hell House in court by one of the boy's relatives, Hadley sticks to her story. First, Levi fell from the tree stand. Then 4 days later, he had some sort of seizure and hit his head on the wall.
He hit his head right there.
So was he standing on his own?
He was kind of like halfway there, halfway in, halfway out. I didn't know what was going on.
And then he just fell back?
Yes, and he was blank. His face went blank.
Hadley and Cox both entered plea agreements for involuntary manslaughter and child abuse with serious injury. Hadley got 20 years, her boyfriend Cox 10. Prosecutors had considered murder charges, but because the couple's stories changed several times, they decided manslaughter was the stronger case.
At one point, this woman said that she was responsible for the death. If we'd have gone to a jury with a murder charge against Cox, when the first question is, didn't somebody else confess? What we know doesn't matter, it's what we can prove.
And just before her sentencing, Hadley did make a brief statement. I failed my son in the worst way possible that a mother can fail her child. Chris Horne, 10 on your side.